You're listening to the SS Experience on S&G.
Recording in progress.
What up, though? You listen to the SS Experience streaming on the SMG Podcast Network app. Download the SMG Podcast Network app on all your Apple devices. Android, I'm getting to you. You can always listen to the SS Experience wherever you get podcasts like Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and as always, the usual suspects, the iHeartRadio app and Spotify. Rate, review, subscribe, re-rate, re-review, resubscribe, download. Keep that process going over and over again so the algorithm can be popping out here in these digital streets. We also got YouTube episodes, obviously on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@the-SS Experience. No E to be giving experience. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. We love the YouTube audience. That's why I'm doing this in a very not so good background. We're still working on the home studio to get built as far as tables, chairs, accessories, and things like that. So I'm on my laptop, crappy camera, nice little average lighting, microphone just sitting right here under me because I don't have one of those microphone stands and all of that for the living room, but it's coming. We getting it set up, but I got to put something out on YouTube. We got sponsors, we got advertisers, and they need to get their money's worth. And we're an audio product, so long as the audio sounds good and you hear what I'm saying, video audience, I love you, but it is what it is, though. But let's go ahead and get into some show, though, real quick, guys. We're gonna talk. Let's start with Diddy real quick. So, over the past couple. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to start the show the way that we always start the show. And this is very good, bad, visuals, but the audio audience, y'all know what we're doing. As always, we got to flick the bic. That's the stuff right there. Let's get into it, though. So we got Diddy, right? So since the last time I did a pod with you guys, Diddy got caught on camera beating the shit out of Cassie. We don't condone it, but we're going to have a conversation after the conversation. So since then, Diddy has been charged with a whole new sexual assault, rape allegation situation that's going on from the late 90s. But let's rewind a little bit because there's a lot of content that I haven't heard anybody talk about. And this is what I pride the SS Experience being on, because did Diddy doing what he did to Cassie and all? No one condones sexual assault, physical assault, mental abuse. No one condones any of that shit. So we want to put that out there right now. And let me fix my sweatshirt real quick. I'm super comfortable in the house, guys. I ain't gonna cap to you, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, though. But we want to ask questions on top of this shit, right? So I want to share a couple of tweets with you real quick, which kind of stem me of how I wanted to, go about this real quick. So I started off with a tweet a couple of days ago. It was about 6 days ago, so it's been about a week ago. First off, obviously at Henny Hardaway 75 on Twitter or X, how you get down these digital streets. First off, who found a video from a hotel 8 years ago? Second, how much did the person get paid for the video? It's not right what Puff did, but a 2016 video from a suspect. So I want to send a special shout out to a real good hooper. Her @ is Rebecca30H on Twitter. She was balling in that Athletes Unlimited Pro Hoops. Did her thing out there for real. Real good hooper. Definitely love when we get to exchange on conversations. So she replies back on Twitter, "Why is the video suspect? Doesn't matter when it happened. It's here and it's out there. You sound like you're trying to find an excuse to say that this is okay. Diddy has money. There's no doubt he's paid to make plenty of things go away." Very much true. These are the questions that I want to ask. And she's not wrong in what she's saying, outside of the fact that I sound like I condone it, because in the previous tweet I said I don't condone it, but it happens. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. So a report after the fact said that Paris Hilton, so I guess he stayed at the Hilton, Diddy paid $50,000 for that tape not to see the light of day. Okay. So my first situation is, so when Diddy paid the $50,000, did the Hilton give up the tape and now Diddy has the tape on his own? Or how did that go? Because again, we're talking about a tape from 8 years ago, 2016. I want you guys to try this. Say something happened at a grocery store. Let's say it was 6 weeks ago. I guarantee you that place don't have that tape. They'll be like, yeah, you know, we scrub our tapes every 30 days or every week. And it's going to be a whole bunch of excuses why somebody can't go to that back room and pull out a tape, or that's old school, pull up a stream from 6 weeks ago. And we're talking about just 6 weeks ago, let alone 8 years ago. Okay, so this tape is out there. Why is this tape out there now? So what I want to do is, the questions that we're asking is just basically why now? Because when we ask the question why, it's always, oh, you're condoning the behavior. Nah, not at all. I want to, like, even with Bill Cosby, I want to know why the hell is old people from the 60s coming up in the 10s, the 18, 19, around that time before Cosby got locked up. And like, why y'all talking about this now? From the 60s. That's why there's statutes of limitations, because it's like, you can't just be bringing up old shit. Now, again, no one's condoning this shit. All I'm saying is don't bring up old shit, because you carried that pain for all of that time. And rightfully so. And respectfully so. I don't want to say rightfully so. Respectfully so. You carried that pain all of that time. Why are you bringing it up now? So Diddy first started off with, oh, this is a money grab. Maybe it could have been a money grab. Cassie got cashed out, from that. That's what the worst mistake Diddy could have done. Out of all of the business that Diddy has done in the past, that's the worst thing Diddy could have done. Because once Diddy did that, that's when the floodgates open and everybody, they mama, feels like they can just holler at Diddy and be like, hey, this shit happened to me too, and all this stuff. Again, we're not condoning it. We're just asking questions, because men lie, women lie, people cat. Y'all thought I was going to say numbers don't. Nah. Men lie, women lie, people cat. All the time shit happens. There's men in jail and prison right now for rape cases and, cases and things that they did not do. I forget the dude name, Burns or something like that. He used to play for like the Falcons and all of that. He actually had to sit it down for a long time, for a rape allegation. Even if you go back to that movie with Idris Elba and Gabrielle Union, I forget the joint, but it's the movie where he had like 3 daughters. I think Tasha Smith was in that movie too. So he got like 3 daughters or whatever, and he's trying to keep the daughters pretty much, safe and all of that shit. And he goes to jail because white girl said that he, raped her and he basically didn't. And it just, the point I'm saying is that people lie. We're not trying to discredit the people who coming forward. We're just saying that people lie. And unfortunately, because people lie, we can't take the benefit of the doubt of everything that goes on between all of the people. We can't just be like, he raped me, burn him, lock him up, throw away the key. That's why it's called due process. So we just can't go off of allegations until you put a person in a courtroom, and until either a judge or, judge by 12 or whatever, instead of, judged by 12, and the process comes together, just like OJ. Rest in peace, OJ, the juice man. The juice lives forever. There was a big portion of people that still felt like OJ did it. Even after the due process, people like, nah, man, fuck that. OJ still did it. So even after due process, people gonna still think the way that they're gonna think. It doesn't matter. It's your opinion, it's your thoughts, it's your feelings. Okay, perfectly cool. But when you have these situations where people can just cap, that's why we never can give women or people in general the benefit of the doubt until hard evidence comes through. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, again, men lie, women lie, people cap all the fucking time. So why is it so hard to be like, okay, well, it's two sides of a story. It's her side saying he used to beat me up. It's his side of the story saying I ain't never touched that bitch. But then when the video comes out, okay, now we know what it is. Now we can act. Now that's why you see LeBron James, Young Miami, several people just unfollow Diddy on social media. Cause they don't want to see him on the timeline crying no more, talking about something. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I mean, it was disgraceful. Nah, bro, you just saw that the video came out. Other little story about that is that they said that when the police raided Diddy's cribs, that's how they got the tape. Now, if that's true, obviously they had a search warrant, but your search warrant wasn't for tapes of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. We don't want to add on too much. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just bring it back a little bit. Why did the tape come out? Because Cassie and Diddy settled out of court on these actions around this time frame. Because I believe her time frame was, the time that we dated, things happened. You know what I'm saying? I forget exactly when they broke up, but I mean, again, 2016 is still 8 years ago. I said this before. And this story came out after I said this. That's how you know great minds think alike. Nothing is criminally going to happen because of this tape. Because the statute of limitations, for one, is 8 years on an assault. Sorry, it's too long. Second thing, you settled out of court on this. So you can't go back civilly and get Diddy for this because he already settled for that. He already cashed Cassie out for that. You can't go at him criminally for what's on said tape because of the statute of limitations. So again, I asked the question, why? Why did this tape come out? If you knew what I knew, and what a lot of people probably did knew, nothing was going to happen with this tape. This tape was just something to put out there to embarrass Diddy. Now, again, we're not saying embarrass Diddy like this is a bad thing. Like, it is what it is. It came out. Okay, great. But we just asking the questions, why? What's the relevance of this tape coming out? 8 years, it's horrific, but nothing's going to happen to the man. He does a crappy ass apology, which we're not going to play on the show. You guys have seen it millions of times before. He did a crappy ass apology. 50 roasted him for it. Oh, and 50 got some real funny shit we got to tell you guys about later on in the show. But let me put that in my notes real quick that will bring up this 50 story. Because 50's on some funny shit. 50 funny. That's all I gotta type. I know what I'm talking about. So my thing is just like, again, we're not condoning the behavior. We're just asking questions. Why is the tape out? Like, who put the tape out and who benefited from the tape? Because if you want to say the feds ran up in the spot, they took tapes and shit like that, and somebody, in the FBI or whatever is playing the tapes, and then they be like, oh shit, it's a video of Diddy. I think he was Diddy at the time. I don't think he was Puff or P. Diddy, but Diddy at the, whatever, beating the shit out of this woman. Oh shit, it's Cassie. Let's leak this. Like, I can't put nothing past the government, you know what I'm saying? But if the government gave the tape to the news people and were like, this is what we found, that's bullshit. Again, we're not condoning the actions of Diddy. We're not condoning the beating of Cassie. But what we can't condone is people getting information in a bad way. I don't want to use the word illegally, but in not so decent means, and putting it out there. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the things that we have to watch out for. Diddy doing that? Wrong. I'm going to keep saying this because somebody's going to be cutting and clipping this stuff, and they're going to get to the point where they're going to take a decent chunk and be like, this is what he felt. No, because after every sentence, I'm going to say wrong. Diddy was wrong. So that way you can't cut it. If you do, you have to really do some cutting and editing. If you're gonna really put it out there, that I'm trying to condone what Diddy's doing. Diddy was wrong, but what's not right is how the tape got out there and the timing of when the tape got out there. Now, if you're trying to say, like, let's say this is 2018, this happens and the tape comes out and something, you know, can be done about the action, because this is the point of I'm saying this. You get in trouble, you get shamed, so the action can change. What I mean by that is when you do something wrong, you get caught, you get punished, so the action can change. So you don't do the said thing. So, you know, you used to smoke crack, you get caught with some crack, they send you to jail, they send you to rehab, they teach you, they discipline you, they put you on a better path, you get out, you're clean. That's normally how punishment works. And I probably shouldn't have used crack, I probably should use something violent, whatever, but y'all get the point. Diddy's not gonna go to court over this. He's not about to get a fine or any sort of financial indirectly or directly because of this. So what was the point? No punishment for said crime that a lot of people are outraged about. What's the point of being outraged about something if nothing can be done about it? In this particular instance, which goes into transition, the new case that Diddy got going on. I haven't done too much research about it, but you know how I like to do. If the video production is right, which it may or may not be, because I might not feel like doing that shit, it's going to be a video of what I'm about to play. If not, you guys get to basically just see me do what a lot of people have been doing. I've been doing this for a long time, but now I'm seeing the big production people and the big, you know, podcasters, people who got like a budget, like a real budget to do this. It's like, motherfucker, why don't you just have your board plugged into your phone and then you can just get the audio from your phone? But nah, they be doing the tricks that I be doing, which is very simple, which is just basically hit play on the phone and let that thing go. So what I'm looking for is, which I could have sworn I just liked this. I just liked that video. What the hell happened to it? Or did I retweet it? I'm looking for the video of from CBS This Morning, where they basically just tell the story of Diddy and this new lawsuit that's going on. And more intelligent people who actually do investigative journalism together with all of this. Me, I'm just a gas bag with a microphone, and we're just going to do it. So we're giving credit to CBS This Morning. It wasn't this morning. Or was it this morning? Today the 24th? It was this morning. So let's go ahead and not yet. I want to rewind it real quick. All right, so either this video is going to take place of this, or you're going to have to see me just, you know, do this in a very hood way. Let's go ahead and run the clip.
Sean Diddy Combs faces another new lawsuit, the second this week. In the suit filed yesterday, a woman accuses Combs of rape and sexual assault. Meanwhile, his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, is responding for the first time to graphic video of Combs assaulting her back in 2016. Our national correspondent, Jerika Duncan, has more, and we want to warn you, the details are disturbing. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. The details are disturbing indeed. This is now the seventh lawsuit directly accusing Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault. Ventura filed a separate lawsuit in November, which has been settled. And allegations in this suit describe Combs forcing himself onto this woman and in one encounter demanding that she take drugs. April Lampros, according to documents filed in New York County Supreme Court, says she met Sean Diddy Combs in early 1994 while she was attending the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. She says Combs promised her mentorship, invited her to parties, and showered her with gifts. But according to the filing, those gestures became abusive, and Combs began to show a terrible temper and often threatened Lampros. She alleges 4 encounters with Combs, including one in 1995, where Lampros says Combs raped her in a New York City hotel, and then another incident that year where she alleges an attendant witnessed Combs sexually assault her in a parking garage. According to the documents, when Lampros tried to distance herself from Combs, he retaliated by having her fired from her job at a restaurant. Lampros is now the second woman this week to file a lawsuit against Combs. Combs is currently facing several cases with similar accusations, all of which he has denied. Last week, disturbing surveillance video surfaced of his assault on longtime girlfriend Cassie Ventura. The singer broke her silence for the first time since its release, writing on Instagram, "Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become," adding, "My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. No one should carry this weight alone." Combs posted an apology online Sunday in response to that surveillance video.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Well, Combs is also the subject of a federal sex trafficking investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. CBS News has reached out to lawyers for Combs and has not yet received a response. Tony?
Tarika, thank you very much.
Insane. That shit is wild. Now hearing about Homeland Security, because I believe they were the boys who ran up in his spot. They could have found the taping, gave it to the news, gave it to the people. Diddy's fucked. We've seen it before. R. Kelly, Cosby, and obviously I'm naming the black ones. You know what I'm saying? You get hit up with this shit right here, man. It's no bueno. It's no bueno. It's no good. You feel for, and again, the reason why I'm not on the feel sorry for Cassie, because I do, but everybody is saying it, and if you know the brand, if you know the program, we don't like to say what everybody else is saying, because if that's the case, you can just go over there and get it. We try to be different with, our analysts and our conversation about this type of stuff. So that's why we're not focusing on like Diddy, the pity party. Nah, fuck all that. Because Diddy deserves everything that he's about to get. Like, from a artist, a former artist or whatever, right? If anything, Diddy, if we're talking about karma, in the big picture of karma is all of the good shit you do, all of the fuck shit that you do. We all know Diddy was on some fuck shit the way that he did the paperwork with his artists. French Montana is maybe the only bad boy artist to never say nothing bad about Diddy. You can go as far as 112, Total, even as current of a person, Young Jock. You can go to all of these people, the Locks, Mace. You can go to all of these people, and they'll tell you how the paperwork was fucked up to the point a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, Diddy gave up the publishing and gave it back to the artist. You know what I'm saying? Notice I said he gave it up. I didn't just say he gave it back to the artist. He gave it up and gave it back to the artist. So Diddy always been on some fuck shit in the big picture. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a sleazeball in the big picture. It's just now when you add, sexual assault, domestic violence and all of that, it just makes you a bigger piece of shit. And again, we don't condone it. This is the SS Experience. Rate, review, subscribe. The button's down there somewhere. Go ahead and hit that button. We really appreciate it. For every 100 subscribers that we get, we give away $100. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Go ahead, press that button down there. Go ahead, pass that along real quick. Let's get into the WNBA. We pride ourselves on to be a fan of women's basketball, college, and pro. In all fashions of pro. I told you I was watching this last season that just passed, Athletes Unlimited Pro sports. They do various different women's sports, And I was rocking with the basketball, like the point system and how they got down out there. I understood it and I liked it. So I like the creativity of that. So so I'm just want to just give that as a little thing out there to throw that I pay attention to women's basketball. And my Mystics is like 0-5. Somebody had commented that we was tanking for old girl from UConn, Paige Beckers. I said, I'll burn this bitch down if the Mystics is tanking for her ass. And this is why. And this is before the real conversation. I just want to put this on wax. If you feel like Paige Beckers from UConn is the star that Caitlin Clark is now, where you can bring her in and she can be that woman that brings eyeballs to the game and she wears your jersey, you could have done that with Angel Reese. She was the 6th fucking pick. Now, my first take was, who the fuck is Aaliyah Edwards, a Canadian from Connecticut? But I like her game. In these past 5 games, I like her game. She hoops. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with her, hands down. But for the sake of the original take, I'm going to stand on business. So I'm a hypocrite, but I'm going to stand on business. You had the opportunity to draft Angel Reese. You could have brought her in, hometown, DMV. She has a brand. She's a person. Boom. Now when the Washington Mystics come to town, now people are getting the big dummy space because we're coming to town, not the other way around. So if, again, this isn't real. This is just, we're on Twitter. We're on X. You know what I'm saying? We're all talking shit. We're all sharing thoughts. I just thought that if we was tanking for her, I would burn this bitch down because you could have had Angel Reese. You could have had your star power. So just everyone just think about that real quick. You know what I'm saying? If you think about, if you're thinking about, well, fuck it, we can get paid. You could have had Angel Reese this year. I don't want to hear that shit. So let's talk about the real basketball I want to talk about. Caitlin Clark. They're like us. They're 0-5 as well. You know what I mean? But they've been playing some hard teams. I've been seeing some clips of Caitlin Clark, going through a screen. Nobody called it Stewie from New York. Solid screen, just boom. I think there might have been an extra little, like, not but like more forward motion, like, oh, she doesn't see the screen coming. Let me just lean forward a tad bit. But Stewie's classy, so she's not going to dump truck her, you know what I'm saying? But she kind of want to, it's the rookie thing, like, welcome to the league, motherfucker. Like, so it's not a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? It's not dirty or anything like that, but, just a little forwardness, you know what I'm saying? But it was clean, though, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's going ham on this story, you know what I mean? And I know we pride ourselves on, not talking about what everybody else is talking about, but we got to get in on this, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what the clicks and views are. Caitlin Clark's been going through this shit, and some people feel like they should, the players should be easy on her because she's currently the cash cow. Even though the WNBA has been working on charter flights for the past couple of years, this year's the first year that they do have charter flights. Caitlin Clark, correlation, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But we can't bullshit around the fact that the league's been working on that already. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, cool. We can check both boxes, but I'm still going to check the WNBA box on that one. So more opportunities. I think New York, Stewie was talking about how revenue and ticket sales was like $2 million in New York when Indiana came into town. Okay, so Caitlin Clark effect right there. You know what I'm saying? We go ahead and throw a check on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm counting scores because should the WNBA players let Caitlin Clark shine more so the bag can get bigger for the entertainment value? I don't think so. But if we can do it in a way where she gets her numbers, I still get mine, and the team wins, and we can make it balanced, I can entertain that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but let her get her numbers, but if her team don't win, all right, cool, whatever type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't supposed to, and we're still in competition. I'm still trying to beat, the team or whatever. But I'm with that though. You know what I'm saying? Let Caitlin Clark get her numbers and shit. You know what I'm saying? But still, win the game type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because she's just one person. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna. If you let Caitlin Clark get 30, that means she's taking a lot of shots. Bad shots, good shots, indifferent. Indiana's going to lose. That means Aaliyah Boston's not getting touches. That means Kelsey Mitchell's not getting touches. I don't know. I mean, not Plum. Damn, the other Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall. No, I'm singing Plum Hall. You know why. But Hall, all of them players is not getting touches if Caitlin Clark gets 30. But guess who? But guess what, though? TV, the league, everybody's gonna love Caitlin Clark 30. Yay! Everybody's gonna love that shit. But at the same time, too, you have to remember that these women are competitors. There's only 144 slots to this game. You know what I mean? Even if you double up their league now, they're still 8 short of what an NBA league is. So it's not that many spots. You know what I'm saying? So there's hella hoopers who are sitting at the crib right now. And I know how all of y'all play hard against me. I was in training camp and I got cut or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever reason. And I see that y'all giving Caitlin Clark the green light to do whatever the fuck she wants to do type shit. I will feel a certain way. I understand why the WNBA players, the current players, the vets, ain't gonna let Caitlin Clark get off. If she gets off, she gets off. If she doesn't, that's on her. She's gonna have to figure it out just like everybody else. But man, people are so strong on either side about it. Like, yo, let her cook, or no, she needs to be competitive. But that's the Caitlin Clark effect, ladies and gentlemen. She doggone can make you rich. Just cause. Now, some people will be taking it to like the extreme too, like adding straight white girl and all of that stuff to it. A black person brought that up, but not a black person like me. A black person that's more like, y'all know who I'm talking about. So we ain't got to go further. But I feel like the WNBA got exactly what they wanted. Normally their drafts, nobody knows who the women are. March Madness for women, which just became a thing a year ago because they didn't used to be March Madness. I never knew that. I want to put on the poll at the SS Experience, no either beginning experience on Twitter or X. How you get down these digital streets. Did you know that women's March Madness wasn't a thing until 2 years ago? Because I didn't. I thought March Madness was college basketball, you know what I'm saying, which includes men and women's. But obviously the way that I forgot who exposed the gym of what the men get and the women get was insane. But wow. So now we actually know who these players are. So now when they get drafted, people want to, they know who they are. They want to see them cook. So I feel like the WNBA got exactly what they wanted, but they don't know what to do with it, or maybe they do know what to do with it, which is let her play, embrace her and let her play, let her do her thing. Yes, do we know, you know what I'm saying, what to do with it? Because what would make women basketball more interesting? Oh, well,
that was images of adults violently raping children.
Abhorrent conduct.
Okay.
For which there are real victims.
I just touched my phone and it was Ted Cruz talking about some fried shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of fun and jokes, I want to hear it, but we're not talking about politics. But that's super funny, by the way. But we as the fans, the excuse for people to not watch the WNBA doesn't exist anymore because you have entry, you have storylines, and the game, which if you've always, for the uninitiated, the game has always been good. Women's basketball has always been dope, especially on the pro level. It's always been dope. But now more and more people are getting to see that, which is pretty cool, which is pretty dope, because at the end of the day, that's all they wanted. They just wanted to be heard, be seen, and cook, for to say the least. And I don't want to make this seem like a bad analogy, but it's just like anybody and anything else in the world that wants recognition, credit, and compensation for their work and their services. At the end of the day, can they get NBA money? Sure, they can get NBA money one day. Real rap, they can. You know, it's gonna be a process. You have to remember the WNBA is damn near 30 years old, give or take around there, and the league is old as fuck. You know what I'm saying, to say the least. So just give it time. It'll get there.
You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.
EJ Warriors Karate Academy presents Science with Khalif. Warrior Khalif of EJ's Warriors Karate Academy, Science Exploration. Anyone who knows Warrior Khalif is aware that he constantly speaks facts about the insects and animal kingdom. So we decided to give Warrior Khalif a platform to do just that. Already a 2-time Film Festival Award winner, our third film, Science with Khalif, premieres right here in Columbus, Ohio, Friday, June 14th. If you go to my page right now, the SS Experience, either Beginning Experience, we're going to have a QR code to scan so you can go ahead and get tickets. It's going to be real dope. Always presented by EJ Warriors Karate Academy. We're definitely going to be outside in the building for that. Also pull up on EJ Warriors Karate Academy too, because one of the goals and the initiatives that they got going on is they're trying to decrease the amount of youth involved violence and incidences in the city of Columbus, Ohio, where obviously, the SS Experience radio show, 106.7 The Beat is. So we like to try to look out for the city of Columbus, Ohio. So make sure that you pull up to the dojo Tuesdays or Thursdays. If you have youth that want to come in, participate in the after school programs and all of that, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. or Tuesdays or Thursdays. Saturdays, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. EJ Warriors Karate Academy, 3975 East Livingston Avenue, again in the city of Columbus. So Columbus, Ohio, don't say that I don't do anything in the community for you guys. And pull up on June 14th, Science with Khalif. It's going to be real dope. Let's get back to some show.
You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.
It's the SS Experience. We back. Obviously, no transition. Well, I might need to just stop faking it for real, but it's a good fake transition nonetheless. Can we have so I've been peeping, people on how we do this industry and this stuff, right? So we throw podcast clips and stuff out there on social media for people to gravitate to, and what the goal for them is for them to for you to watch. For me, when I see it, I just use it for my own content. So sorry if I didn't go to your content to get all of it, but I thought I can just use the content for myself. And it's a story that people have been talking about since Fred Flintstone, the dinosaurs, Adam and Eve, and all of that shit. And it's the topic of going Dutch. Now, I guess we might as well do this real quick. Since we're going to steal the idea, we might as well give them the credit for the audio. So it's a real dope looking podcast. I just honestly I'm bullshitting when I say this. Not bullshitting when I say this, but I just don't have. I have a lot of podcasts on my plate already. That's kind of fit. So it's for me to add on a new podcast, that means I'm gonna have to add on another part of the day to listen to podcasts, and I don't really have that many times for real. So again, we got to give people credit when we steal their topic or whatever, because it's super duper funny. Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks love what they do in the sports media space. Too Personal Show, real dope podcast. I mean, I would implore you to check it out. Again, I just haven't had time to because it's not on my docket of podcasts. But I do follow them, and when they do pull up clips, I entertain it. I listen. So I'm about to get this audio of their idea of going Dutch. I might end up playing 2 clips because I don't know which one it is. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, I might end up playing 2 clips. Oh, hold on. I can actually watch the words first and then see if it's actually the right one. Okay, nope. See, I would have messed up and played the wrong clip. So let's go ahead and run it real quick.
Splitting the bill conversation. Do we pay for the men? When do we pay for the men? A friend of mine was on her dating journey and she went out with a man twice. He paid for everything, wined and dined. On the 3rd date, they spent a day together, ordered a bunch of things, had some drinks, had a good time. Let's call it a couple $100. She had to put her card down for this particular place. So when they went to pay, he was like, oh, your card is down. And now she didn't speak up and ended up paying for the bill. They had plans for another date. He texted her the next day and was like, I don't really see a long-term future with you. I don't really want to waste either of our times. I think you're great, but I don't want to keep our date plans, which I think is very respectable. Most people just ghost. So she's talking to me about it. And she's like, but he did stick me with the bill. I was like, what are you talking about, stuck you with the bill? How did you leave paying? I was like, just text him and say, oh, okay, well, cool. Thank you for saying that. Had a great time too. But here's your split for Saturday. There's no possible way he thinks that she's just paying for his presence. He got upset, did not send her the split, and in fact went and sent her the receipts for the last 2 dates.
Okay, a lot to unpack there. You know what I'm saying? A lot to unpack there. And Taylor Rook's jaw was just dropped. You got to watch it. It's a real dope podcast. You got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? No cap. Here's the thing. If you're counting score, and I'm just going to do it simply. She said they went on 2 dates, dude paid. The 3rd date, they was going to split, or I don't know if they said they was going to split, but she ended up paying for the whole thing. I guess that's what your card is down. I thought they meant your card is down, like you put your card down for it. I don't know if it meant your card was down because there was no money on it, but whatever. So he paid for 2 dates. She paid for the 3rd, which I think that's in a normal sense is okay. So he breaks off the date. And when she sends him the split for their date, that's when it's kind of like, well, I paid for all of these, so why can't you pay for this one? And I think this is where we get into the whole Dutch conversation, right? Because women will feel like, I don't have to pay to be around you. You should pay for me to be around you. And it's like, this is how I always thought of it. And I'm just going to keep it very simple. If I'm hungry and I'm casually somewhere, if I'm with, we chilling, and I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. I'm not going to expect the people around me to buy me food because they're around me. I got money in my pocket. I'm going to get myself something to eat. If you treat it, okay, cool. That's what's up. You know what I mean? But I got it. But thank you. Good looking. You know what I'm saying? And you keep it like that. Now, I don't know why in the dating world, that's so harsh of a thing where it's like, okay, well, you're hungry yourself. Well, what would you buy yourself to eat? You know what I'm saying? If you was looking at this menu and it was your dollar, what would you buy yourself to eat? You know what I'm saying? Get that, buy that, we chilling. You know what I mean? So that's how I think of it. Now, again, people make it so more deeper than that, which is, again, let's say, well, why do I have to pay to be around you or whatever? I don't know. I don't get it. I personally don't see it like that, but that's the whole Dutch conversation of, well, if you're not about to pay for my food, then I'm not coming. I remember one time, this was super funny. One of my bros had some female friends with him. I ended up riding with them or whatever, and they stopped to get some food. I think they stopped at one of those food kitchen spots where it's like there's multiple people that can cook or whatever. And they turned around and looked at him and was like, "Are you paying for our food?" Like, they waited, ordered the food to then ask him, was he buying their food? Now, there was no way in hell anybody was going to look my direction because they wasn't with me and I didn't even get nothing for myself. You know what I'm saying? Which goes back into the whole thing. If you go somewhere, if you're going to eat, you're going to buy something if you want to eat. If you didn't want to eat, whatever. But I wasn't with them in that capacity to be like, I'm going to buy myself something to eat, then I'm going to buy y'all something to eat. Like, nah, like it ain't. I didn't even have a conversation with them. So my whole point in saying all of that is that especially in that particular situation, assuming that that's going to happen. And you know what the crazy thing was? Ask me whether or not did they get the food that they ordered. Ask me. Somewhere in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere in the chat, just type in, well, did they get their food? You know what my answer is? Fuck no. They ended up just walking out, getting back in the car and just riding off with us to whatever, drop them off or whatever. They didn't even get their food. So think about that for a second. Most of the women that, you know, we hear in these conversations and stuff, when they say, oh, well, if you're going to stick me with the bill, then I'll just pay and I'll fuck you. Okay, well, those are the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Because you got your own money, you willing to spend it? Great. That's pretty much what a lot of dudes just want to see. Are you willing to spend your own money on something, or are you just going to keep asking us to spend our money? Because that's the thing. I get that women want the courting of the whole thing, you know, the buying of this, da da da. But can women also acknowledge that there are users and abusers? People who take advantage of. If women can acknowledge that, then they can understand why men are so leery about, you know, paying for the first and doing all of this other stuff, because some women are users. I had a friend, I have, you know what I'm saying, a friend that would regularly go on first dates just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even no real interest, you know what I'm saying? Just like, sure, he about to take me to get something to eat. I'm about to go get something to eat. Just friend them up type stuff or whatever. I know this, you know what I'm saying? I know people like that, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, okay, that's cool to an extent, but that's why people just be leery. Now, some people want to play the game, and that's the problem that we get into, because here's the deal. If I was to say, like, let's think of it like a 1,000,000-man march or one of those 30-day fasts or whatever, like a call to action. No dude pays for a first date for like 30 days, right? So now let's see what happens, like one of those little experimental type things, because what happens if dudes just don't, because the thing is that it doesn't work now because there's always a dude that will, right? There's always going to be so if I say, I'm not really trying to pay for you, I'm down to kick it or whatever, but I'm not down to, you know, whatever. Well, fuck you then, nigga. I'm going to go, and then the next dude will. So there's always going to be the next dude, which is why this will never work, but I just want to put it out there. Don't pay for the first day for 30 days. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that, hey, don't be around them. Like, nah, like, I still want to go out. I want to go. You pay for your shit. I pay for my shit. I just want to enjoy the time and just see how that goes. Now, obviously, most women's going to say, well, no, we're not going out then. Okay. Now it falls on you. What are y'all going to do? Just be around each other? You know what I'm saying? Girl night, girl stuff for a whole week, because from what I'm told, they be fiending for sex too. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes licking a kitty don't work amongst themselves. So I'm saying sometimes they want some meat. So with that being said, how long will you guys go without, you know, accepting the fact that dudes is not going to pay on the first day? And again, I know this is never going to happen. I know that I'm not trying to revolutionize the world. I am trying to revolutionize the world, but I just know whatever. But that would change. And then women would have to pay for their own first dates. Now, again, it's like, I'm not anti it. But for me to do it, I would have to really like you and really value your company, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? If it's kind of like I just want to eat, figure it out type shit. You know what I'm saying? Get something to eat and chill. You eat whatever. Like, okay, that's cool as well, in my opinion. But for me, just rather get to know you first. You know what I'm saying? Before I just go gung-ho into, oh yeah, I'm about to buy every single meal that you eat until we're not cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it boils down to. Let's just keep it all the way to buck. You know what I'm saying? Because if you succeed in said thing, in success courting or whatever, just another mouth to feed. You know what I'm saying? As a person who's single, you know what I'm saying? That's just another freaking mouth to feed. Now, most women will say, well, again, I'll buy stuff. It's just a long way and a long process before you even get to that point. Just saying, though. So that's my relationship talk. You know what I'm saying? We'll chop this up and you can do what you will with it. Maybe we get some comments at the bottom and then conversation to get started. So, but we're going to end the show on 50 being funny. 50 got a deal with, I think it's Netflix, where he's going to do a documentary about Diddy in this whole situation that he has going on right now, actively. Most times when you do a documentary, it's something historic, 20 years ago, something, pioneering or whatever. That's normally when you get those type of documentaries where, you're researching something from a long time ago. 50 is doing something that is current. I'm trying to pull this up real quick because I want to make sure that I get the details of this shit right. Because, okay, so it is with Netflix. 50 Cent sells Diddy doc to Netflix, and it was actually a bidding war. He could have threw that shit on Tubi, but he said, nah, he gonna throw that shit on Netflix and make a bag off that shit. 50's been trolling Diddy throughout this whole entire shit. And 50 trolls a lot of people. Now, his baby mom, Daphne Joy, put out a lawsuit against him. The same shit that every nigga's going down for. Rape, sexual assault type shit. And I say every nigga loosely because it's like, have you just noticed that's just been the news of shit? That's really been the news. I mean, we got music stuff here or there, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick, Like Us is streaming, selling super duper well and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing, Drake's Under the Mud. That's the majority of our content stories is around, okay, what dude just got a rape allegation? So for the simple fact that 50 has one with his baby mom and he's now about to do a whole Diddy night. Now I'm telling you, this shit gonna probably be funny as fuck because he got that big ass farmland out in Louisiana where he about to, open up shop for G Unit Films. Man, there's not too much information on it because it's just, but can't wait to see it. Not gonna lie to you, but which again, it's funny because we're watching it in real time now. So it's not like 50 is gonna have any new vantage point that we haven't seen from the past. We're all watching this story in real time. Guess after it's all said and done, 50 had a recap that we'll all be clamoring to when it gets on Netflix. So this is the SS Experience. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe. Real dope. Look, the camera sucks. I get it. My iPhone, I don't have a stand. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? But we just want to get the YouTube shit out there so the algorithm can give us whatever that we got going on. Rate, review, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all next week or next episode, which probably will be next week sometime. Easy.
You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.